Hi, welcome to this presentation, which is part of the open courseware entitled WaPOR Concepts and Validation. The topic of this presentation is WaPOR Precipitation Data Validation. My name is Solomon Siyu. I'm a senior lecturer at IHE Delft Institute for Water Education. This video lecture aims to enable you to discuss some of the conclusions from WaPOR Precipitation Data Validation and to describe the steps you need to do to validate WaPOR precipitation data. The source of precipitation data of WaPOR is CHIRPS. The CHIRPS, or Climate Hazards Group Infrared Precipitation with the Stations, is a satellite-based rainfall product with a spatial resolution of 0.05 degree and temporal resolution of at least 1 day, with quasi-global coverage, covering 50 degrees south to 50 degrees north and all longitudes, and the dataset ranging from 1981 to near present. CHIRPS blends 0.05 degree resolution satellite imagery and in situ station data to create gridded rainfall time series. Since the station data are used in the CHIRPS dataset, the data product may have some inhomogeneity over parts of the world where the availability of station data is not consistent over time. Validation of CHIRPS dataset has been conducted over different parts of the world at different spatial and temporal scales. The CHIRPS dataset was evaluated by comparing it with reference range data as well as with other satellite-based rainfall products such as African Rainfall Climatology version 2 and the tropical application of meteorology using satellite and ground-based observations, or TAMSAT. Based on the studies reviewed by Lopez, Bermeo, and co-authors, some of the findings indicated that CHIRPS performed better in areas with high precipitation than in arid and semi-arid lands. CHIRPS data worked well to estimate monthly rainfall, although slightly overestimating total precipitation. CHIRPS data were adequate for capturing the spatial distribution of precipitation, and CHIRPS dataset was better in estimating precipitation in the low-lying regions than precipitation at higher elevations. In addition to the several validation of CHIRPS dataset, you can do your own validation of the precipitation data from WaPOR or CHIRPS. To do so, you need to follow the following steps. First, identify the area of interest and collect reference data of precipitation for at least a few years duration. Get the locations of the stations, do quality assessment of the reference data. Reference data for precipitation can be obtained from gauge measurements or radar rainfall data. Download the WaPOR precipitation data for the locations of the stations for the same period as the reference dataset. Make the temporal resolution of the two data the same. You may need to resample the precipitation data as needed to monthly, decadal, or daily time steps. Compute some pairwise metrics such as correlation coefficient, the bias, and the root mean square error, and plot a scatter plot of the two datasets to have some visual comparison. If you have several gauging stations spread over your area of interest, you may compute the spatial variation of the matrix as well. In another video, an exercise is presented using Python script on Google Colab to download and compare monthly precipitation from WaPOR to monthly precipitation of 14 stations from Global Historical Climatology Network Daily in Africa. You can read more about the Global Historical Climatological Network Daily data following the link provided on the slide. After running the scripts, try to answer the following questions. Based on the results of the comparison, for which station vapor precipitation compared better and for which station the results are poor? From the result, what would you say about the vapor precipitation data? What do we need to know about the reference dataset to conclude if vapor precipitation represented the actual condition on our area of interest? Do you think the duration of the reference dataset is long enough to make robust statistical analysis? What factors do you think would contribute to uncertainty of precipitation data from WaPOR? If you have your own gauging precipitation data, you can follow the steps on the script to do your own validation. This is the end of this presentation. Please check out other videos and resources on the OpenCourseware to learn more about WaPOR concepts and validation. Thank you for your attention.